Welcome to Alex's English podcast, where you can learn English in a fun and easy way. Today, I want to share a small, brave choice: a day without my phone. No calls, no texts, no social media, no camera in my hand, only my eyes, my ears, my hands, and my heart. Do you ever feel tired from the small buzz in your pocket, the light on the screen, the many little sounds that call your name? I feel that too. So I chose one full day to rest from the screen. I wanted to see what would happen to my time, to my feelings, to my mind. I wanted to know if I could feel calm and free and close to the people and things around me. Come with me step by step through this quiet day and listen for what changes.
My morning began with soft light at the window, not with a bright screen. I used a small alarm clock, and when it rang, I pressed one button and smiled. My hand moved toward the place where my phone usually waits, but there was no phone. For a second, I felt a quick pull, like a habit asking for food. Then I breathed in, and I opened the window. Cool air met my face, and the sound of a bird came from a roof. I made warm tea, and I stood by the sink with two hands around the cup. The house was quiet. I did not read news. I did not count likes. I did not scroll and scroll. I only watched steam rise, and I felt my eyes wake in a kind way. My day began slow, and it felt safe.
Breakfast was simple, but clear. I cut a small apple, I toasted bread, and I added butter that melted like sunshine. I sat at the table, not in bed, and I ate without a screen. The taste was stronger. The bread was warm outside and soft inside. The apple was sweet and cool. I looked at the plate, and I felt thankful. I wrote a short plan on paper, with a blue pen. I chose 3 things for the day: clean my room, take a walk, read a book. Only 3. Any more would make my mind heavy. I looked at the wall clock and smiled again. Time felt slow and wide, like a calm river. Without my phone, my eyes were free. My hands were free. My mind was free to breathe.
After breakfast, I went for a walk. The street was bright, but it was not loud yet. I left my phone in a drawer at home. At first, I felt a little afraid. What if I need a map? What if someone needs me? What if I miss a message? The questions were real, but the world was kind. The trees made soft shade across the road. A dog looked up from a yard and wagged its tail. 2 neighbors talked near a gate. I nodded and said good morning with my eyes and my smile. My steps found a steady beat. I listened to my breath and the small wind. I noticed a tiny blue flower between stones and a little cloud shaped like a boat. These are small things, but they felt new, like gifts I had not seen for a long time.
Back at home, I began to clean. I opened the curtains and light fell across the floor. I washed the dishes with warm water. I folded shirts and socks. I wiped the table, slow and calm, until it shone. I played no videos. I did not look for a playlist. I did not search for a new show. I heard the real music of the house: water in the pipe, a chair moving on the floor, a bicycle bell outside. Work felt easier than usual. It was not a race. It was a gentle rhythm. Pick up, place down, wash, dry, fold, smile. Do you know this soft joy when a room is clean and the air feels light? I felt it, and my heart grew warm. A simple room is a kind friend.
Around noon, a small storm came inside me. My thoughts began to jump. Did I miss a message from a friend? Did my team send a note about work? Is there news I should read? My hand wanted to reach for the phone again. I stood up and I walked to the window. I took 5 long breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Then I wrote 3 lines in a notebook. I am safe. My friends are okay. I will read messages tomorrow. The storm slowed. I made a small lunch, Rice with eggs and greens. I did not use a recipe on a screen. I used my eyes, my nose, my memory. The taste was good, and I was proud. I learned that boredom is not bad. It is a door. It opens to care, to calm, and to new ideas.
The afternoon became a time for paper and ink. I took a book from the shelf and sat near the window. The story was slow, but my mind was ready for slow. I underlined one good line with a pencil. I read it again, and I let the words sit in my chest. After reading, I wrote a letter to a friend. Not an email, not a text, a real letter on white paper. I told them about the blue flower and the little cloud. I thanked them for a kind message from last week. I put the letter in an envelope, and I wrote the address by hand. My writing was not perfect, but it was mine. My hand moved with care, and my heart felt close to the person I love.
Later, I went to the market. Without my phone, I could not look at a map or a list in an app. I drew a simple list on a small card: milk, tomatoes, bread, tea. I walked along streets I know, and when I felt unsure, I asked a woman at a bus stop for the best way. She was kind, and she showed me with her hand. We laughed, and we said goodbye. In the market, I chose food with my eyes and nose. I touched the tomatoes and picked the ones that felt just right. At the bread table, the seller told me which loaf was fresh. I paid with cash, and I looked the person in the eyes. Human faces were my screen today, and they were warm.
Back home again, I rested. I lay on the couch with a glass of water and looked at the ceiling. A small shadow moved across the wall as the sun changed place. I closed my eyes and listened to the clock. Tick, tock, slow and steady. Ideas came and went. A new recipe to try, a tiny trip to a lake next month, a gift for my sister. Some ideas were good, some were not, but they were my own. No trending page told me what to think. I also took 10 minutes to sit in silence. I felt my breath. I felt my back on the couch. I told my body, "You can rest. You are safe." Peace grew like a quiet flower inside me.
Evening brought color to the sky, and I began to cook. I made a simple stew with tomatoes, onions, and beans. The pot sang a soft song. I set the table and lit one small candle. I ate slowly. Every bite felt warm and real. After dinner, I took a short walk again to feel the cool air. On the way, I met a neighbor who was watering plants. We spoke for a few minutes about the weather and the flowers. The talk was simple, but it felt sweet. When I carry my phone, my eyes often go down. Tonight, my eyes were free, and I could see people. Connection is not only in a message, connection also lives in a small smile on a quiet street.
Before bed, I looked back at the day. What was hard? I missed taking photos. I saw the blue flower again, and I wanted to save it, but I could not. I missed quick answers. I could not look up the bus time. I needed to wait, or ask, or simply walk and see. I also missed music in my ear. The house was very quiet sometimes. But what was good? So many things. Clear taste, real talk, slow thinking, a lighthouse, a calm heart. I felt more space in my mind. I felt more time in my day. I felt closer to myself and kinder to others. A day without my phone did not feel empty. It felt full of small, real life.
I ended the day with a warm shower and soft clothes. I stretched my back, and I made tea with milk. I wrote 3 lines in my notebook. One thing I saw, one thing I did, one thing I learned. I saw a tiny flower in stone. I cooked a simple stew. I learned that I can live one day without a screen, and I can feel strong. I put the notebook by my bed. I turned off the lamp, and the room grew dark. Sleep came gentle, like a slow wave. My head was light, my eyes were soft, and my heart was quiet. I felt thankful for this small, brave day.
Thank you for walking through this day with me. We looked at morning light, quiet food, clean rooms, open streets, human faces, and calm rest. We also met small storms and found ways to be kind with them. Maybe you want to try one day without your phone too. You can plan it for a weekend or a calm holiday. Tell your close friends, write a paper list, use a small alarm clock, and keep your phone in a drawer. See what happens to your time, your eyes, your hands, and your heart. I am proud of you for learning with me today. You did a great job today. Remember, learning English is a journey, and you are doing amazing.